Jenny was a social media manager used to sleepless nights and overtime work. At 25, she was still caught in the whirlwind of work, even though she longed to rest. That night, she was working late again, and it was almost midnight. Exhausted, she felt the heaviness in her body as she sat in a jeepney on her way home. There were barely any passengers left. Only the sound of the engine and the raindrops on the jeepney's roof kept her company. She took her phone from her bag and opened it to check for new notifications. The usual: emails from work, a few chats from friends, and alerts from apps. But one message from an unknown number caught her attention. "Jenny, how are you? I hope you still remember me." Jenny frowned. Who would text her so late? And why did this person seem to know her? A lot of questions ran through her mind. She read the message again. She felt a slight unease, but thought it might just be a prank by one of her friends. She didn't know anyone with a new number, and almost everyone she knew was on social media. She quickly replied to the number, trying to calm herself. "Jenny, who is this?" A few seconds passed before the number responded. "Don't worry. We'll meet soon." Chills ran down her spine. Who was this? What did "we'll meet soon" mean? She tried to recall if she had any arguments or left any messages unanswered from a friend. But no, everything was fine with her family and friends. As she neared her apartment, she became more anxious. She began to feel uneasy, as if a cold breeze was touching her skin, even though the weather was warm. When she arrived at her apartment, she quickly went straight to her room. She threw her bag onto the bed and sat at the edge, still holding her phone. She tried to shake off the message from her mind. It was probably just a prank. But why did she feel like something was wrong? It felt like someone was watching her. Suddenly, she remembered Marvin, a close friend from the office. It had only been a week since he passed away in a road accident. It happened at exactly 3 a.m. when he crashed into a truck on his way home from a team outing. When the text message replayed in her mind, her entire body went cold. "We'll meet soon." A shiver ran down her spine. She opened their last chat on Messenger and remembered what Marvin had said before the accident. "Jenny, let's meet next week. I have a surprise for you." Jenny shook her head. It couldn't be Marvin. He was dead, that much was clear. But who could be playing this cruel joke on her? She lay down on the bed, trying to fight the growing fear in her chest. Just as she was about to fall asleep, another message came through. "Jenny, don't you care about me? Don't you remember me?" Jenny sat up, her heart racing. She could no longer contain the fear. Who was texting her? And why did this number seem to know about Marvin? With trembling hands, she typed a reply. "Who are you? Why are you teasing me?" Her phone barely had time to cool down before a reply came. "It's Marvin. Did you think you could forget about me? Don't worry, Jenny. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here." Suddenly, the room felt ice cold. Jenny looked around, at the slightly open window and the locked door. She felt she was no longer alone. Before she could lower her phone, another message came. "Open the door, Jenny. I'm here." The rain outside intensified, and each drop seemed to scream in the night silence. From outside her room, she heard faint shuffling, as if someone was moving in the hallway. Slowly, she stood from her bed, trembling with fear, her eyes fixed on the doorknob, which was slightly moving. She retreated back to the bed, grabbed her phone, and hurriedly texted her sister in a nearby town. "Sis, something strange is happening here. Someone's texting me saying they're Marvin." But before she could send the message, the lights in her room went out. Only the glow from her phone illuminated the space. She looked outside the window. There was no one there, but it seemed like a shadow moved from the edge of the street. A knock came at the door. Knock, knock, knock. 3 a.m., the exact time of Marvin's accident. Jenny decided not to open the door. She took the crucifix from her bag and clutched it to her chest. She tried to hold back her tears while praying fervently, but the fear in her heart only grew stronger. Another message followed. "Jenny, thank you for worrying about me, but I won't wait for our next meeting. I'm already here." Suddenly, her phone's screen flashed brightly, and for a split second, she saw a shadow standing by the door. She couldn't move. Her breath stopped. When darkness returned, she felt something touch her shoulder. She turned around, but no one was there. She grabbed her phone again, her fingers trembling, and checked the messages. All the texts from unknown number had disappeared. They had completely vanished. But Jenny knew it wasn't her imagination. She knew it was real. The next day, Jenny woke up to the gentle rays of the sun. But even though her surroundings looked normal, the feeling of peace never returned. As she stared at her phone, a new message appeared from the same number. "Don't forget, Jenny. We'll meet again.